Okay, so since the last video, I've improved the look of the website a little bit. Added some characters that you might recognize from other tutorials. And I'll just show you what I've done from frame 1 to 25. We have these animation characters from 26 to 50. We have what's the Wikipedia article of Bill Gates' biography. And from 51 to 75, we have a Flickr profile that is going to link to maybe a portfolio or something like that. Okay, but we're going to animate all this stuff also. So I'm going to start with this first part. I'm going to just have these characters appear from the side. To do that, I'll need to get them on their own layers. I'm also going to lock down all the other layers except for the home layer. So I'll add one other layer, and I guess I'll take Naruto here and get him on his own layer. And oops. Yes. I'm going to make a motion tween out of each of these characters. Again, I'm going to trim him so he's not appearing on frames 26 through 75. So right click, select those frames, remove frames. Okay. So now each of those characters is on their own layer. I'm going to right click, create motion tween. Same thing over on this layer, right click, create motion tween. And so I'm going to move them off. And I was actually on frame 5 when I did that, so I'm going to control click and drag these keyframes over to 25 where they should end. And now we have the animation of them coming off of the stage. Actually, this is reversed. Okay, let me flip that around. Drag these keyframes over here. Drag this keyframe. May actually not be able to do it quite that nicely, because that was frame 1. No worries. Over here on frame 25, we'll get them in there. And so now they're coming onto the scene. Okay. With the Bill Gates thing, what I'm going to do is just make it kind of zoom in. I'm going to just create a classic tween for that and insert a keyframe here. And then on this original one, oh, I have it locked. Better unlock it first, right? I'm going to shrink it. And so it'll just kind of zoom up when you click on the About button. And for work, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the Home section. Oops, again, have to unlock it. Lock the About layer. I'm going to have the Flickr icon move in from its side, so I'm going to Command X to cut it. Click to add a new layer there. Call that Flickr. Command click and insert a keyframe. and on the stage then I will right click and paste in place. Okay, and then right click, create a motion tween, right click on the other thing, create a motion tween, and oops, you know what, I totally forgot about that thing. It needs to be deleted. Oh, how funny, I had this extra layer. I'm gonna delete that. Okay, hopefully you didn't have that. Okay, so you're gonna have that come in, have flicker come in also, and maybe I'm gonna actually see if I can edit the path here. So it kind of falls in a little bit. Okay. Well, so now the animations, if I do a command return preview, look like this. There's the first one, a little slow. There's the second one, and then that one. Actually, all these may be a little bit slow, but for example, this will work. I like just keeping it clean at 25 frames per right now. Okay. One last thing. This is kind of extra credit. Let's get some motion going on in the background. First thing I'm going to do, create a new layer. I'm going to call this background beams. Going to lock all the other layers and drag this down. So the only thing that this one is on top of is the background itself. And now what I'm going to do here is create like some little beams shooting across the background constantly. And so I'm going to get fairly dark blue and just create like a beam. You know, I think maybe I want like a rectangle actually. So I'll go rectangle with no fill. This is just me. I know this is not what you would choose for your website, but there you go. Okay, I'm going to start with that. Okay, so I'm going to right click on it and just instantly change it into a symbol, because what we're going to do is actually create a movie clip. And I just turned it into a button. Now I have to go to that symbol, click on properties, right click, and then click on properties. And then change it, make sure I change it into a movie clip. There we go. Bam. Okay. Now I can even delete it from the stage and just double click on it in the library. This is good, healthy 75 frames or so. Right click, create motion tween. Have to change that into a symbol, of course. Okay, looks like that worked out nicely. And now I'm going to essentially just do this a bunch. Duplicate layer, duplicate layer, duplicate layer. I don't want to do it too many times. I'm going to say maybe 4 times. Because actually this one's going to be a little shorter. They don't all start at the same time. play it, see what we get. Yeah. And now if that loops, that should be okay. I can now put that on my background layer. Sorry, this is the background beams. I'm just going to shorten that to beams there. Now if it seems like they're just shooting through once right now, but once we get to a point where they will loop is in the next section. Okay, so we'll see you in the next section.